quite. Hustling every day, I'm on my way to that shop light. It's my destiny to be bigger, yeah, I got to fight. And all that visions are sitting high on my own gold throne. Never listening criticism, I built my own. From the bottom, I've gotten myself in my own zone. Never stopping, I made it, and no, I ain't gone home.
What is up with everyone this evening? Excuse me. Welcome to another edition of Get the Tables podcast. I'm your host, as always, Tony, with my co-host tonight, the bizarre one, Dave. How you doing tonight, Dave?
Hey, I'm doing awesome.
All right, good.
Decent show, yeah. Hey, let's get to it. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, let's get right into the show tonight. A lot to talk about. We had a lot of title changes take place. We had new women tag team champions crowd, and we had one hell of a main event tonight. So
Yes,
let's
sir.
touch on the main event since we just came right off of it tonight. Okay. We had the Elimination Chamber for the SmackDown Live World Championship. I think this is what everybody's mostly talking about, other than probably the Becky Lynch situation. But man, what a hell of a main event we got tonight between Kofi Kingston, Jeff Hardy, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and Samoa Joe. Hey, welcome, Speeds, to the show, man. I'm glad you could make it on while you were there live. Speeds was there live, so thank you for popping in with us. We're also live on Twitch and YouTube, so go ahead and jump over there if you haven't already. Hopefully everybody's able to see the chat room tonight, but if you're not able to see the chat room, Jeffrey Cross was mentioning on Twitter today that if you re-download the app onto your phone, that may help. If not, you can jump over to our Twitch and join us over there and chat with us over there as well. So, man, we had Daniel Bryan and Samoa Joe open up Elimination Chamber first, really stacking the odds against Daniel Bryan. He even kind of mentioned that a little bit tonight in a kind of a little bit of a promo before the match actually started. But then
I guess we see why Daniel Bryan didn't go far on that gauntlet match on Sunday now.
Yeah.
Or Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because he started the chamber, 37 minutes or 36 minutes?
He went the whole shebang tonight. So we had Daniel Bryan and Samoa Joe start off first. Kofi Kingston came in next, which then led to AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, and Randy Orton came in last, of course, since he won the whole gauntlet on Tuesday night. I'll get to your comments just in a second, guys. I just want to recap the main event, just in case anybody didn't see it. Samoa Joe, surprisingly, was the first one eliminated out of the chamber by AJ Styles. Next was Jeff Hardy, followed by AJ Styles by Randy Orton. A lot of rumors have been speculating that Randy Orton and AJ Styles may face each other at WrestleMania, so that could be the start of the feud right there.
Or something else could be.
Yeah, that is true. So it led down to Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston, and AJ Styles in the final three. And everybody, Kofi Kingston got his revenge over Randy Orton 11 years later. He gets wins with the SOS, right? Or was it the
It was Trouble in Paradise.
That's right. And defeats Randy Orton, so eliminates Randy Orton. And we got the final two. The guys that started the gauntlet on Tuesday ended the Elimination Chamber tonight, which was Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan. And man,
Daniel Bryan did catch AJ Styles and eliminate him. Then it was down to Kofi and them.
That's okay. Yes, you're correct on that. Now, these last two, we had Daniel Bryan and Kofi, and they tore the house down. They even had me for a minute there thinking, are they possibly going to give it to Kofi Kingston? Because a couple of times, it looked like he was going to beat Daniel Bryan. So kudos to WWE for booking a really good main event, even getting me, a guy that, I think we all kind of figured Daniel Bryan was going to keep the championship until WrestleMania, of course. But they kind of really got you going to where, man, Kofi Kingston may pull it off. The crowd was really behind Kofi tonight. I think this was the hottest the crowd was the whole night. I mean, I'm not really saying much because, the card wasn't that strong.
Other than the Becky.
It did its justice tonight. It was a really good main event. And at one point, I was standing in my living room thinking, man, Kofi Kingston may pull off this upset. He may actually walk out the champ, and maybe they give it to him till Fastlane and he loses it. But I wouldn't even care. Just getting that title on Kofi would have been a nice moment. But unfortunately, he lost. He falls short to Daniel Bryan. And he got a little feel-good moment afterwards with the New Day coming out and kind of escorting.
Okay, let me ask you this about that. Did you think, or is it just me? I was like, they're about to turn on him.
I was about to mention that. I was about to say that. It looked like, what's up, Jody Mania?
Big E. You know, Big E kept looking at Kofi like sideways.
Right. It reminded me, you know, because they've done that in the past where you've had the group kind of turn on the main strong guy, which would have been Kofi, and they could have just been frustrated him. You know, he's getting chance after chance after chance, and he just keeps falling short. And maybe they just get tired of his shit and they move on. I was waiting for maybe Big E to lift him up, you know, kind of like that cheering, celebrating moment, and then he does that type of, you know, the evolution turn where he just falls back, or maybe he clotheslined him right before the show ended, kind of Ciampa style on Gargano. I thought it was going to happen. I thought, oh man, are they going to do a little 360 and have New Day turn on Kofi? But no, they didn't. And they ended the night with the fans going home pretty much happy, even though Daniel Bryan successfully defended his title. What did you think of the main event tonight, Dave? And what did you think of Kofi's performance? He had one hell of a week.
Yeah, he's had a great week. And the match overall was really good. I mean, I was kind of surprised. I was like, okay, Daniel Bryan will probably come out and get put in the pod. And then it was AJ. I'm like, oh, they're really starting with Daniel Bryan in this pod. That really surprised me. I mean, that's obviously why he didn't go the distance on SmackDown, because he was going to go the distance tonight. I think it was like 36 minutes or whatever it was. Yes, he probably had some rest spots in between the whole thing, but still, being out there for 30 minutes, that's still an accomplishment right there. But, yeah, I mean, man, this is crazy because this is the longest Daniel Bryan's ever been WWE champion. You know, because the first time he won it, he got hurt, and he was out, only had it for like a month, so that's crazy. But this match was just fun. Him and Joe starting off was really fun. Other spot, I mean,
right there. I saw a lot of people commenting on that.
Yeah, that was great. And you know what? There was a lot of good spots. Jeff really wasn't in there that long, but I mean, he was.
Alex put a funny tweet that said he looks basically Jeff Hardy was in there to do that swanton spot in the chamber.
Oh man,
that was it. That was insane, man. That was insane.
He's laying on the top rope, and man, this thing is Jeff. Man, I was.
What if
nuts.
Jeff missed? He could have.
Yeah, I know, right?
Himself there. That was a pretty crazy spot.
But when you go through. Going through all the eliminations and stuff like that, and then having Kofi, everyone's talking about AJ and Randy, and I'm sitting there thinking, Kofi just eliminated Orton. Wow, I just messaged you that. I was like, wow, Kofi just eliminated Randy. That'd be interesting. I mean, because that Kofi looked great tonight. I mean, it was a great job for him. I mean, I'm glad he got this spotlight. Some people will say this is supposed to be Mustafa Ali. Maybe it was.
It more than likely it was. Glad. You had to assume that it was going to be Ali's
I hate to say it. I'm not happy that he got injured, but in a way I'm glad he wasn't in this match, because I'm glad Kofi is getting the spotlight and maybe this treatment and maybe a little bit of a push. Maybe he's going to decide he wants to step away from New Day for a bit. Because, man, he looked, as a single competitor, man, you could give him the U.S. title right now, he could dominate with that title and just be himself. And let him go on his own again. I think this group should break up, honestly.
Well, he's definitely super over with the crowd.
Yeah, right now he is.
I don't know if it's just kind of a, you know, flavor of the month type of thing where they kind of build him up really good on Tuesday night. Crowd was super behind him tonight. They really wanted him to pull it off tonight. And, you know, maybe they could have him go on a little bit of a singles run, maybe challenge for the United States Championship, or maybe if they move him to Raw, challenge for the IC Championship later down the line. I don't know, but
that'd be great.
It just, to me, it looks like the New Day don't seem like they will ever break up. I feel like that's a group that will always be together. They just have great chemistry. WWE can throw them out there and do promotional shit. It just feels like a match made in heaven. And yeah, I said, it looked like they may turn heel. And you know, we kind of figured that they wouldn't, but it just kind of teased that type of.
It made you think. I mean, who knows? But I mean, getting to the finals of that match and how that ended. There's something I did not like. You remember the double roll up
Yes.
And they cut to the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, right, I was like, what are you guys doing?
The cameraman messed up a little bit there, yes. And imagine if Daniel Bryan would have won. Oh, my gosh.
Right there, and that's how it ended. Vince would have been fired somebody right there. I mean, geez,
What's up, Cringe?
That was just, I know whoever was doing it, they were trying to get a shot of the crowd, but maybe they thought it was the end. Who knows? But, I mean, man, that was just so bad, I thought. Then they had to redo the replay just to show people, like, hey, don't worry, the match ain't over yet. But we didn't know because you would have been over there and we didn't know there because you reversed it and they cut to the crowd to see the crowd's reaction. And it's like, man, that's stupid. But yeah, it was a fun ending.
Yeah. Let's go to the chat real quick before I miss any of these chats. Alex, Brock's schedule ain't working out. No, he has to wake up super early, so he wasn't able to make it. Can't see the chat, uninstalling. Oh, damn, I don't know what's up with that, Architect. Why you
go to Twitch.
Yeah, just go to Twitch, if anything, man. I'll be able to see your comments there.
Yeah.
Kofi went all out tonight. Would have been nice to see him win. I agree with you on that. The Braun and Baron match sucked, and it was predictable. Absolutely. We'll touch on that in just a second. Crowd very pleased overall tonight, says Spees, who was there live at the arena tonight. So.
Well, yeah. I would love to get some more take from him tonight because, crowd really good.
Don't forget, Dave will be live tomorrow night, so if you're interested in hearing what he thought of the show being there live, check them out tomorrow night, definitely. Kofi's going to be the WWE champ one day. I honestly wouldn't mind Woods and Big E becoming tag champs at Mania, and then Kofi becoming WWE champion at Mania. That's a super good feel moment, but I don't see that. I'm sorry, I don't. Are you surprised Luke Harper didn't show up tonight? Yeah, a little bit, a tad. That I was surprised we didn't see him maybe make an appearance, but I mean, to be an overall feel of the main event, it was, kind of figured Daniel Bryan was going to come out on top, but I'm gonna give WWE credit tonight because a couple of times, not only in this match but in the women's tag match, I thought the match was going a different direction. Because let's jump to the women's tag match because we had the first women's tag team crown tonight, which was Sasha and Bayley, of course. But for a minute there, they had me thinking that Mandy and Sonya were going to win for a minute at that one spot where she chunked Sasha into the pod, then threw her in, did her finisher, and, of course, Sasha broke out of it at 2. But it's like, oh, my gosh, we might see Sonya and Mandy get the win. But obviously, the Boston Hug Connection won. I know I predicted last night that they would get some friction or we'll see the Iconics win. Of course, I was totally off on all of those predictions, so... don't ever listen to me when I do predictions on this show. What's up?
Hey, I'm glad. I think we're glad, though. I mean, it's nice for us to all say, okay, we all might want, or at least, I can't remember if Alex said he did or not either, but I wanted Sasha and Bayley to win, but I had a feeling Tamina and I were going to win just because of the whole hatred everyone has for them. And the Iconics, when they came in, I just wanted to mute my TV, and I did forever. It was so annoying. But man,
fans love it when folks get out of finishers. Well, except me, I'm old.
Mandy got exposed big time tonight. She really did.
You know what? Tonight, let's talk about some people that did very well for themselves. How about the Riot Squad? They actually went out there and performed their asses off. I thought Liv and Sarah Logan, who I'm very critical of. I've said on this show very many times I don't like her promo styles. I never was a big fan of hers. She really went out there and busted her ass. Even jumped off top of the pod. I can't remember I think it was Bayley and someone else, maybe Mandy or Sonya, onto them. She really performed out there. Also, the Iconics. They really did good for themselves. They haven't looked that great since they were in NXT.
Yeah.
I know they were annoying and yelling, but that's part of their gimmick. But they actually went out there and performed for themselves.
It's like every time I hear them, it's like a chalkboard.
Right,
it's like,
and that's their whole gimmick of being that loud group. They're annoying type of thing. But
they're not the kind of heels that annoys me where I just don't like them. Kind of like sometimes with like the Miz.
Right.
You just don't like him, but he does great character-wise. Just like Tamina and Nia, this is the same thing to me. It's not that I hate them because they're great characters. I hate them because they're just annoying. I just want to turn my TV off.
How you doing tonight, dude? Thank you for popping in.
That's how bad it is with them. But oh my God, we're gonna talk bad. I'm gonna give the worst performance of the world to Mandy Rose.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch her performance.
Her botches were so bad.
I didn't really see anything wrong with her with her performance tonight, unless I missed something.
You must have missed a lot. Okay, there was a spot where she's supposed to get slingshot in the corner. She has her hand up already. She moves out of the corner. Sonya was supposed to get slingshot into her, and she wasn't even there.
Okay, I saw that part.
Then
yes.
the Bayley to belly from the backbreaker. Mandy was supposed to come in and make the save, and she never did. And then Bayley even looked back for her, so then Sonya had to kick out on her own.
Right. Okay, well, yeah, we can point out some of the stuff that Mandy did bad, but I thought overall the women's elimination chamber was pretty entertaining. And I know last year's women's elimination chamber was kind of a cluster. It was kind of all over the place and stuff like that. And sometimes this match was as well, but I thought for the most part, the ladies went out there and did pretty well. We didn't see anything too crazy, but we saw some cool spots. We saw the Nia Jax and Tamina slinging the Riot Squad into the chamber. I thought that was a nice little cool spot. We saw Nia pretty much eliminating herself by trying to spear, I don't remember who, into the chamber pod, and they moved out of the way and she just crashed into it. But
hey, good for them. It was obvious that they could have went with Nia and Tamina, and they didn't, so I'm glad they didn't go there.
I just thought we came in with very low expectations, and it seems like we do this a lot when it comes to WWE pay-per-views. When we go in with some major low expectations for shows, they really pull something out of their ass and have a pretty solid show. I know maybe some people didn't really like the show too much, but I thought overall, for it being what it was, I thought both chamber matches were pretty good.
I mean, it wasn't that. I don't know. I mean, I didn't think the match was that good. I mean, the finish was pretty good, how they did it. I mean, I guess leaving it down to Mandy and them was kind of weird, but whatever. But, man, I don't know. There were some weird moments in this, like the whole Carmella thing when she came out, and it was just strange.
Oh, yeah.
Corey Graves was really weird in this match.
Yeah, Corey Graves mentioning his kids watching the WWE Chamber Women's Tag Titles match. I was like, whoa.
My daughters are so happy right now.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a good time to mention that, but apparently people said at the live events, I think Speeds popped out of here, that they were chanting Corey Graves during Carmella's entrance. And like we said before during our prediction show last night, that more than likely they were going to be the first ones eliminated, and they were the first ones eliminated. So it was Naomi and Carmella, the first ones eliminated. But what did you think of the Iconics? Because I didn't get your opinion on them. And also in the Periscope chat as well. What did you think of the Iconics? Because since they've been brought up to SmackDown Live, they haven't really been... in the Twitch chat as well. It's popping tonight. What's up, Rob? How you doing tonight? I really thought the Iconics, they've been kind of the comedy group of the SmackDown Live roster. They haven't really been taken seriously since they've been brought up, for the most part. I mean, you can kind of agree with that. What have they done on SmackDown Live? And honestly, like being honest.
Well, nothing. But I don't see them as a comedy group, though.
They're a comedy act. They go out there, they be silly, they act silly out there. They don't really do much. They don't really get to perform very much. That type of a group. They don't really do nothing.
No one does. I mean, no one does on SmackDown. Auska didn't get on SmackDown.
What did you think of Peyton? I thought Peyton Royce, let me tell you, she looked fabulous tonight. Peyton Royce, whatever she did. The hair change, the color of her hair. She looked very beautiful tonight. I got to give it to her. Has it been confirmed as legit with Graves and Carmella? It hasn't been confirmed. I mean, it's all about his ex-wife.
Well, I don't think it's his ex-wife. I think it's still his wife.
Well, it's going to be his ex-wife. Came out with all that shit, but we could touch on that.
Hey, okay. Let's be honest though. If it was fake news and it wasn't real, wouldn't both of them have come out and said this is not true by now? So silence on social media by both of them. You would think. And if you just looked at Graves tonight, he didn't seem like himself.
Yeah, it was a different. I think even at one point Renee called him the world champion of love or something like that.
And she even said something about Is that why you're walking funny or whatever?
Like Renee getting kind of personal tonight. I like it, but the Iconics. Other than annoying, you didn't think they performed very well tonight?
Oh, they did better than Mandy Rose.
Yeah, I saw Deborah recently. She deleted all her shit.
Oh, who did? His girlfriend or wife?
Yeah. But like Jeffrey Cross says, who really cares? Nobody really cares about.
Yeah, that's not about her. Yeah, I mean, well, everyone else on Twitter seems to keep talking about it, but yeah, I mean, look, they're good in ring workers. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Peyton Royce is great. I mean, she was trained by one of my favorite wrestlers, Lance Storm. So yeah, I mean, she's great. But I mean, and I don't know so much about Billy Kay. I'm not a big fan of hers, but I like Peyton Royce. I think she's really good in the ring. If they were treated seriously, because they put these two together. And it's like, I know Peyton Royce can be a really good wrestler, and it's like she's not seen. Just like when, even though she's another girl who was trained by Lance Storm, Emma, when she was there, she was kind of treated like a joke for a long time. It was a big comedy act.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's how they.
That was more comedy.
That's how they're treated.
They're not really
though.
comedy.
When's the Iconics gone out there and had like a legit match? They're usually getting squashed by Auska. Or
doesn't mean they're a comedy act.
They're just not taken seriously at all.
Okay. Well, yes, I agree with that, but I don't think that considers them a comedy act. But just because they're not taken seriously, which no one does. But yeah, I mean, look, you go Sanity doesn't do nothing either, and they never get used. I mean, but yeah, you're right. When the Iconics first came in, all they did is just lose every week.
Right.
To Becky Lynch and Charlotte. In tag matches, and even Auska, I think, beat them both in a handicap match.
That's what I'm saying. They never get treated right, and they got the night tonight to perform, and hopefully they get to do more than what they usually do on SmackDown Live. Same with the Riot Squad. I mean, they're usually getting beat by Ronda by herself. They're not really getting treated very well as a tag team, and tonight they held it down. I thought Liv Morgan looked good and Sarah Logan looked good.
Yeah, I mean, well, they usually do. At least Liv usually does out there. I mean, yeah, look, the Iconics were a team that, like you said, don't get utilized as much because they're on a 2-hour show. I mean, and it's all about Becky and Charlotte on SmackDown, even though it's really about them on Raw as well, too. So it's kind of confusing.
It's all about Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte at the moment. Sprinkle the little women tag titles in there as well.
Yeah, now. But yeah, I mean, but it's cool because they did get the spotlight, just like some other people. I don't know if we want to talk about spotlight. I don't know if Carmella and Naomi want to be spotlight right now. They had enough of it this week. But, I mean, yeah, it's tough to say. I mean, Tamina and Nia, I mean, they did their thing. They look strong out there. And Tamina lost the match. So.
Of course Tamina's going to get pinned. I mean, you're not going to see Nia go out there and get pinned and lose her status of being that big, strong woman. You got to have Tamina who's shit go out there and get pinned.
Yeah, I give a lot of credit, though. I give even more credit to Liv Morgan because when I first saw her in NXT, I got to give these other Texas person credit. I hate to do it.
Oh, Texas kid.
Because he's always talked about these three. The Iconics and Liv Morgan being like...
Yeah, but he likes them for different reasons, though.
I know, but he did say Liv Morgan was really good. And he said when she got her one title shot against Auska, she just lost really quick. He did say that he could see her being a star and being all that. And I didn't see it. I just saw her as another Carmella ripoff, honestly. That's what she reminded me of, just a Carmella ripoff, doing the whole Jersey thing.
What's up, Juanito? How y'all doing? What's up, man? We've got a nice little crowd over on the Twitch chat room as well, so if you can't see the chat for some odd reason on Periscope, jump over to Twitch. We've got a nice little crowd over there as well, chatting it up, so if I don't get to you guys on Twitch or miss your comments on Periscope, I apologize. I'm not trying to miss anything.
Well, I got you covered over here. I'm on the Twitch chat as well, too.
I'm not too many titles. Needs to be one women's champ and one men's champ and just one men's tag team champ. Luckily, they're doing that with the women's, and they're just going to have one set
I disagree.
women tag titles.
I disagree with that. Because it takes away. It takes away from other opportunities from people.
Hashtag old guy. Liv Morgan is awesome. I'll give it that ass is the only thing that is cool. Oh, Ray. Oh, Jeffrey Cross. All right. Did Mandy lose her teeth? That's what I was wondering, too, DX, that it looked like she lost, or at least got her teeth kind of knocked out. But
is that why she wasn't doing anything in the ring then? She just standing around doing nothing?
It's possible, David. It's very possible.
Well, My beautiful face, I can't do nothing now.
So Sasha and Bayley are finally your tag team champions. Let's put that up one more time. There you go. They got the little feel-good moment after the show was over, after the match was over. We had Charlie Caruso go in there and interview them after the match. They were all crying and having a good emotional moment together and saying how hard they fought to get here. And this is not just for them, but it's for the ladies in the back. It even looked like some of the commentators, Corey Graves, I believe in Michael Cole, Beth Phoenix was on commentary as well.
Which was nice.
They were all kind of emotional, during this match. It could have been kayfabe. They could have been just, acting. But it seemed like everybody was happy to finally see Sasha and Bayley win the tag team titles because they've been through a lot. We've seen them go through them being a team, to them breaking up, to Bayley calling her a bitch, to Sasha Banks revealing how much she loves Bayley, until the full circle now to where they win the tag team titles. What are your thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I was a big fan of the match, but I'm glad Sasha and Bayley. At first, I thought it was over because when Bayley got knocked out towards the end, and so that looked like a bad bump too. So hopefully she's all right. And then it was down to Sasha. I'm like, oh, Sasha's gonna lose the match for him. Great. But I'm glad they end up winning it in the end because you know what? If people follow them, which I'm sure a lot of people do, follow them on social media and follow them in the interviews they do, they've talked about this for at least the past year about how it would mean so much to them to get women tag titles in the WWE.
Right.
Because they've been pushing for it, like the fans have. But they've also been the ones been trying to get it too. So for them to actually finally get the women's tag titles and to actually be the first ever women's tag champions in the WWE, it's huge. I mean, it's huge for them. And I think they do. A lot of people were against them winning it, but I love the idea of this happening. I'm glad they're the first champs. They deserve it. I'm happy for them because they've worked hard to get where they're at right now, and to finally, all this stupid stuff we've been going back and forth with Sasha and Bayley for the past year, all this stupid little stuff, and now they get it. And I know some people said it would have been cool, like it was Alex, like I even thought Tamina and Nia were going to win this match and possibly have Bayley and them challenge at WrestleMania to win the titles for a big moment there. But it was fine here, and I loved it. I thought it was an awesome moment. I'm glad they won the titles. I'm curious to see how they book them going forward. Not like I said last night, no matter who won the titles, I'm curious to see how they book the titles going forward. Will we see more title matches? Will we see a women's first? I'm sure we will.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that we get a tag title match tomorrow night.
Yeah, it would make sense because now you have an extra titles that you can put online almost every week. You know,
now we're gonna get Sasha and Bayley finally on SmackDown.
On SmackDown,
yeah.
I hope they show up this week. Honestly, I do. Or maybe they don't show up on Raw tomorrow night at all.
Yeah,
and they
we could honestly maybe get them getting a rematch with Mandy and Sonya on SmackDown. I wouldn't mind that at all. Yes, Smart Tears is going to be good tomorrow night from Speeds because there's going to be a lot of bitching and moaning probably from this Chamber pay-per-view. I don't know, maybe not. Who knows? Now,
probably from him. I mean, because man, he really hates Becky Lynch.
Yeah, he is not a fan of Becky at all. That is for sure. Will they defend it on Raw as well as SmackDown? They're going to defend them on any brand. I'm assuming that's what they're kind of. That's
or maybe they'll just be appearance because those are two wrestlers who have never been on SmackDown, and now you have a chance where you can get them on SmackDown. So you could have not. You don't have to defend the titles. They can just show up on SmackDown and wrestle, and have matches on both shows. So that's what's going to help.
Speeds asked a interesting question in the chat room because I think it's true. He says, has WWE become too predictable? Seth and Becky winning the Rumble to Sasha and Bayley winning the tag team titles tonight.
I mean, is this just something new? I mean, this has been like this for a long time. I mean, WWE has always been predictable, I think. It's so obvious. Us as hardcore wrestling fans have been watching this for most of our lives. We can see where they're going before they go there. And we know what's going to happen. We can see these stories already happening. To me, this isn't something new. They've been predictable like this for a long time.
I think what happens with the WWE, and it happens a lot around this time because Vince McMahon already probably has his matches and eyes set on what he wants at WrestleMania, that they're not going to throw us any type of curveballs to where they're not going to go and throw in a Kofi Kingston winning tonight and beating Daniel Bryan. And even though they have another pay-per-view coming up and they could easily just have Daniel Bryan win it back. They're not going to really do that. And to me, that's what makes it very predictable, because we all know that of course I predicted Iconics to win. And I thought maybe WWE would go in a different direction. Maybe they were going to give us Sasha and Bayley at WrestleMania. Obviously, they're not. They could always change it up, but obviously that's not what they're going to do. But they stick with the plan. If they already probably have the triple threat in main event already, they already have Brock and Rollins. They probably already have Daniel Bryan's opponent already picked out. So everything's going to become to where we already know what's going to happen, like Fastlane. To me, Fastlane, if we weren't doing the show every week, I wouldn't even probably watch, because to me, there's not going to not watch, but maybe not do a show afterwards, because there's nothing going to be exciting about that pay-per-view other than probably a good match here or two. We're not going to see anything other than, we're not going to see no title changes or anything like that. Yeah, it's just around the corner. So it's not, WWE doesn't really need, to me, having another pay-per-view right now is just, it's a moronic idea. It's stupid. They could have, from here, I think someone tweeted out that WrestleMania is only like 40 plus days away. So you could definitely concentrate these next couple of weeks on making feuds, developing feuds for WrestleMania, and maybe even have a title match between here and there where Daniel Bryan defends it on a SmackDown Live or something. It just, I just don't. As a fan, I want to be like, I don't see what they're doing. I don't see this shit coming. But it's, to me, very, very obvious at what some of the things that they're doing. It's just, that's what I don't really like. And that's, it's just us being fans and watched wrestling for too long that we become those smarky fans that kind of, instead of sitting back and enjoy it, we're like, oh, fuck, we're going to get this. Oh, fuck, we're going to get that. And even myself needs to sit back and just relax and enjoy the show sometimes.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't really think Sasha and Bayley winning the titles was really that predictable, because I think a lot of people were picking Nia and Tamina to win it. Like, oh, they're going to go this route. They're not going to have Sasha and Bayley win it till WrestleMania or something. So I don't think it was really that predictable to say that WWE's so predictable. I'd give them credit because I think they went a different route. They went the face route tonight, where it seems like all the favorites won tonight, we'll get there, but except one person. Well, Daniel Bryan maybe to the point, too. People don't like him.
Some people do not like Daniel Bryan, and that's actually a good thing, not a bad thing. Now, to kind of move on from the women's tag team title.
Oh, really quick.
Go ahead.
About Fastlane. If they want to do this, they could really use Fastlane to have no title matches, like at least no world title match. And they could do it to set up his opponent. Have a 4-way or a 5-way or something. A winner gets the shot or something like that.
Yes,
do we need another multi-man match? Do we need another multi-man match at WrestleMania for Daniel Bryan's title? I don't think so. We just had one. To me, that'd be a little overkill. We just had a multi-man match at Chamber. We're gonna have another one now, so that would make no sense. But if we do it for a shot, that would make it, unless you want to go Mustafa Ali versus Daniel Bryan at Fastlane. I can see that working there.
Nope.
And then you do a kind of 4-way or something. Be quiet with that.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to talk about one match though, Dave.
I know we did. We got to talk about a few of them.
Pre-show match, because I think we're going to forget that one.
I didn't even watch it.
You didn't watch the pre-show match,
dude? I was watching. You know what I was watching? I was watching the San Antonio Commodores.
Commanders, Dave. Commanders.
Sorry. Versus Apollo. Orlando. That was a good ass game.
I was watching that as well. I had the WWE Network on my phone.
I was like,
Buddy Murphy and Tozawa.
Oh. Let me guess, Buddy Murphy won.
Buddy Murphy won, yes. But, man, what a match. I'm not sure if Speeds was there live yet, since it was on the pre-show. He may have been getting, condiments or maybe a shirt or whatever. I'm wondering what he thought of that match, because that match did a great job of getting the crowd hype. It was great, too. The crowd was really behind Tozawa. They were really behind the match. This is awesome chance. And I know a lot of you guys are not familiar with 205 Live, and I'm hoping, really, you guys, start watching more of 205 Live because they have some fantastic matches. Not maybe every week, but they do bust their ass every time they have a show on 205 Live. So check it out. The match was awesome. Buddy Murphy showed some impressive stuff. Like, for example, Tozawa's doing his flying headbutt outside the ring, and Buddy Murphy ends up catching him and then doing a goddamn, what was it? I can't think of the name of it. A suplex onto the outside of the ring. Tozawa did some type of nice little spread out eagle back plancha move where he just lands on Buddy Murphy. I mean, it was just all over the place. The match was really good. Buddy Murphy retains, and a nice little pre-show match to get the crowd going before Hell in a Cell started. I actually really enjoyed it. Now,
Chamber.
I'm sorry?
Chamber, you mean?
What did I say?
Hell in the Cell.
God damn it. I always get those two mixed up for some reason. Agreed, it pissed me off. They had a backstage interview during it. Disrespectful. Yes, they did have a backstage interview during that match as well. Man, Buddy killed it again. When does he go main roster? I don't know. And that's coming from our man down
on the main roster. He's on the main roster.
I mean, is he technically on the main roster, even though he's not really used on
Raw? They
wrestle
after SmackDown. They wrestle after SmackDown. I guess he's
technically on the main roster, but yeah, I think he means like the Raw.
They travel with the main roster.
I think that's what he
means. Look at yeah, I know, but look at Leo Rush.
That's
he's
what
been wrestling. We'll get, we get back and forth.
A suicide dive by Tozawa. That was crazy. Let's talk about the other big news coming out of tonight, which was Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch showed up tonight, one-legged. I thought that was funny because I can see why fans are getting a little bit tired of Becky because she comes down. Well, first off, we had Ronda Rousey against Ruby Riott, and this was an absolute joke, folks. Ruby Riott is one of your top, I guess, I would say top women's wrestlers in the WWE. She goes out there, and if you went to the bathroom or went to the refrigerator to grab a drink, you literally probably missed this match because this match didn't even go 2 minutes. Ruby Riott got this was a definition of a squash match. This could have been or should have been Dana Brooke. No offense to you Dana Brooke fans, or Natalya, or Alicia Fox. Someone out there, not a Ruby Riott, a leader of a faction. This is ridiculous and embarrassing. This was a joke. Rousey defeats her in less than 2 minutes. Leads to Charlotte coming inside the ring, and they're kind of having a little bit of a face-off. Yes, Ronda Rousey looking like Sonya Blade as well. Forgot to mention that.
Whoever that is.
From Mortal Kombat. You don't know who Sonya Blade is, Dave?
No.
Wow.
Is she a new character?
She's a character from Mortal Kombat. I'm surprised you don't know that.
Is she a new one?
I don't believe so. I think she's been a while in there for maybe from the beginning. If I'm not mistaken. We're going to touch on that as well, DX. And they're having a face-off, and then all of a sudden you see Ronda Rousey kind of make some kind of look into the crowd, and you see Becky Lynch hobbling her ass back into the ring, one-legged, because, like we mentioned last night on the show, she tried to attack Charlotte. Well, she did attack Charlotte at a house show, but ended up getting beaten up by Charlotte afterwards, and of course, she re-injured her knee, apparently. So she comes out there, and she looks at Ronda, she looks at Charlotte, and then all of a sudden, she just starts going apeshit. I mean, Becky Lynch just did not give a crap. Started swinging those crutches at Charlotte, hitting her pretty stiffly, too. I mean, she was clocking her with those crutches. Crowd's going wild. And then all of a sudden, you see her hand over a crutch to Ronda. And I'm thinking, oh, please don't do this shit. Have them team up and this is their way of trying to get Ronda over as a face, and they want Charlotte just basically to be the heel. And they kind of did something different for a change and had Becky attack Ronda from behind with the crutch, and she's laying it on her, and to the point to where she even busted open her forehead a little bit. So
a lot.
Yeah, Becky goes over again, one-legged. And I was surprised. I mean, if you're Charlotte and you're that savage heel that she is, why aren't you just attacking Becky Lynch right when she gets in the ring? That's what I didn't get. They should have been getting the one-up on her instead of having her just come out there and just staring at her. She's supposed to be suspended as well. So why is she even be able to get into the ring before like security's there to break it up? I think too much, stuff that should have happened didn't. You know what I mean?
Maybe Sasha and Bayley let her in.
Oh God. Let's see. Let's move to the chat room. Notice she is botching the injury. She injured the right leg but had a brace on the left leg. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, if she's suspended, then they should have had cops haul her off. Exactly. Her
storyline. Come on. Remember when John Cena got fired?
Dave, come on. If they're gonna do an Austin type storyline, then fucking do an Austin type storyline. Have security come out there. Have people come out there and tackle her ass and arrest her and haul her off. Triple H should have been there. Stephanie should have been there. Going out there and getting in her face when she's getting hauled off by the police. They should have made this a little bit more extreme than this. This suspension is a fucking joke. How is she suspended when she's still able to go wherever the fuck she wants? She was at a house show last night. She's at the pay-per-view tonight. You gotta have to assume that she's gonna be at Raw or SmackDown tomorrow night. What are they gonna do? Suspend her longer? Like, what is the storyline is starting to kind of get out of control a little bit.
Hey, you can't. Hey, if you want, you can say that because if you listen to that crowd tonight, they were all about Becky Lynch. No matter what, the crowd was hot for the main event, but I
agree. The crowd was definitely behind Becky Lynch. They were behind her, beating the shit out of Ronda and beating the shit out of Charlotte. But to me, you gotta have some type of control of this storyline. Some of this part, I get it. Not all storylines are going to make sense. But this one, to me, it's not really making sense at all. I get it. She's suspended for 60 days. Vince is pretty much taking her out of the main event. Of course, she's going to end up getting her way back in it. But if she's suspended, she shouldn't be able to get everywhere she wants so fucking easily. What happened to Triple H or Vince McMahon at the beginning of each show or something and have security guards guarding each door and, hey, make sure she doesn't get in. And, of course, we all know that they're going to end up getting in. But I get it. They try to shock you. They have that shock value. No one really kind of thought, they're playing up that she's hurt, so there's no way she's going to show up tonight. But no security, no even kind of threat came out to stop this. She was beating Charlotte and Ronda for quite some time. It took a little while to some people to come out and kind of restrain her.
Yeah.
That's my only goal.
Yeah, but this whole thing to me was also, which is obvious what they're doing. They did this to make Ronda and Charlotte both want Becky in the match now to set up the triple threat because they're both. Now watch, Ronda's going to be concussed and she can't wrestle at WrestleMania. So now it'll be Becky and Charlotte for the title at WrestleMania. So that'd be hilarious if they got pushed back again.
Houston, bad security says someone, look, I'm drinking everybody's favorite joke for AEW wrestling. Everyone's drinking AEW.
I feel so bad.
How about that? Now what?
I felt so freaking bad for Ruby Riott tonight because a minute and 38 seconds.
Yeah, that was horrible, man. That was awful for Ruby, who's had a
really wanted it to go long.
Good run in the WWE. I know she hasn't won a title or anything like that, but she's for the most part been the one that's been looked strong out of the Riott squad. She hasn't really taken a lot of pins. She hasn't taken a lot of wins either, but to have her go out there and lose like that and not even really put on a competitive match was a bit of a joke.
Yeah, I mean, it was really bad. The whole Becky running in, I have no problem with it. I mean, we've seen the same thing happen with other superstars, like John Cena with the Nexus storyline, where if he lost the match, he got fired, and he got fired. He showed up every single week beating up the Nexus, so he's fired. And he has entrance music and all that. That's why that doesn't bother me so much. They're just all setting this whole thing up for WrestleMania Triple Threat, which I don't want. But
yeah, and what you said about Charlotte, and I don't know about so much Charlotte, because you think Charlotte's gonna want to have Becky in the match, risking her to, I mean, it helps her in a way, but wouldn't you want, if you're Charlotte, to have Ronda to yourself?
No, because last time she had Ronda herself, she almost lost. Or she did lose. She snapped and took a crutch after her.
Right.
So the last time she had, this way she might have a better chance at beating Ronda with Becky in there too.
Okay.
Because last time she didn't have a chance against her.
Right. John Cena versus that goes way back. What was the point of the match? They could have had this on a Raw and show instead. Right.
Yeah, that's what we thought it was going to be originally.
They should have had Look, we get it. There wasn't much star power
I
at
think-
this Elimination
yeah.
Chamber pay-per-view, other than the world title match, maybe the IC Championship. There wasn't that huge star, other than like Daniel Bryan, Styles, Randy Orton.
Yeah, but like you guys say,
throw him in there.
The marquee names that are going to draw people to watch these shows. Your big, for some reason, Ronda Rousey on there.
Yeah,
for some reason.
Ronda's going to be on the pay-per-view? That might grab a little bit more interest.
And that's probably why they did this. Okay, Ronda's going to be there. Oh, we just did this story. Oh, Becky Lynch got re-injured, so maybe fans will think she might show up on Fastlane, so maybe more fans will want to see what's going on and go to the show. I'm not sure if they probably didn't sell out because this show, I mean, Chamber could have sold out. I don't know if it did. Maybe people there at Houston know if it was a sold out show. But, I mean, maybe that's why they put Ronda on the card instead of making it a Raw match, because what else are we going to do? And you have Charlotte, and you have Ronda. I mean, without Brock Lesnar, he's not there, obviously.
Right. Yeah, so
you're not going to
they had to probably have her on the show, but you could have had her face Dana Brooke or Natalya or someone else to where you had her win quickly.
Name, somewhat of a decent name, because then if you do it that other way, like it's going to be like Dana Brooke, no one's going to believe it, and no one should believe it anyway. And they didn't make this believable either, because all this was. Ruby Riott was just there to further along this Becky Lynch and Charlotte stuff.
Yeah, and that was let's move on to, because we're going to probably be touching on Becky Lynch again on Tuesday night, because more than likely she's going to show up on Raw or SmackDown.
She'll probably be invited.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Ronda sells tickets. You need her for. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, hey, and Speeds could probably agree with this on as well. When she came out, I heard cheers. When she's there by herself. She's getting cheers, but when it's Becky Lynch in the ring with her, right now Becky Lynch is going to
Becky
is going to be right when she came out, I heard cheers, and that's how it was here in San Antonio as well. But she's over. But when she got in the ring, they were chanting, "We want Becky." Well, of course, probably the people that were holding up the Becky signs, but
not just.
I'm just saying that she did get cheered. It's not like she was getting booed out of the building. She does get cheered.
I didn't say she was getting booed. I'm just saying I heard all I could hear through my CP was "We want Becky."
Now, we had the tag team titles on the line. I see some people commenting on Jimmy Uso getting arrested. And The Miz and Shane lost the tag team titles, everybody. Celebration time.
Right.
Finally, they lose them after winning them like a month earlier at the pay-per-view, I believe. Was it a pay-per-view? I think so. They defeated the Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro. Yes, at the Royal Rumble. Thank you. And surprisingly, they lost. I think everyone last night had Shane and Miz retaining, I believe. I think maybe Alex had the Usos. But the Usos...
No, I think everyone had it.
Yeah, there you go. I think pretty much everyone... had the Usos losing, even with the arrest happening as well. That kind of thought, people thought that's going to put a little bit of a slash into it as well. But maybe the speculation and the rumors and innuendo is right with the WWE, and that they're nervous and worried that the Usos aren't going to re-sign with them. And behold, they give them the titles. Jimmy Uso.
Because, of course, he got arrested to go to AEW and get
if they would have lost the shot, or lost the match tonight, we would have been getting those Cody gifts, that's for sure. But they win tonight. Yeah, they win the tag team titles. And the match, I'm going to be honest with you. It might have been a good match from a lot of you guys in the chat room, and maybe you, Dave. I fucking didn't like it. I didn't like it. The only thing I liked was seeing The Miz lose and then him making his fucking face after the match was over. That's the only thing I liked. Was him looking at Shane in fucking utter shock and disappointment, knowing that he let down his daddy and he let down Shane. I hate this fucking Miz. I know it's all storyline. He's going to turn heel and they're going to face each other at WrestleMania. I get that. And you know what? I don't give a fuck. This Miz is a wuss, is a puss. Did the Miz lose his balls when he had kids? Because what is this with Miz? I don't even recognize this Miz. Even before the match, and then congratulations to the Miz, of course. He announced he's having a kid. When does the Miz do that type of shit? What
has
happened to the Miz? He's became a bitch. I'm getting loud over here because I'm upset because what we were getting from The Miz in 2018 was excellence. We were getting some unbelievable promos, him and Daniel Bryan, and we're thinking at one point maybe The Miz will get another title run or get that major heel run with the title and this and that and all this shit. And then now he cares about what his dad thinks and what Shane McMahon thinks and how upset he was because they lost the titles and I just wanted to throw up. Your thoughts, Dave?
One thing, I didn't care about the match either, to be honest. It was like, oh, we got that great, but it was entertaining and it was draining. And they took so long. They even did the video package again to show us from how it all started, just to get the crowd to settle up a little bit. But one thing I noticed they were doing this whole match, like, man, they're starting really good off against the Usos, and they're a great tag team. So they were playing it up like when Miz and, because this happens a lot in the WWE, where they just throw these teams together and make them tag teams. Well, they're saying that they made it almost seem like Miz and Shane should not beat the Usos because they're like, what, 5 or 6 time tag champions or whatever it was, and so I mean they shouldn't beat them, and they didn't. So that was good. Almost, it would almost look like really bad that the Usos lost to Miz and Shane because it was just Dave, wow.
Would they really have looked bad? They're the fucking best in the world, though, Dave. Remember that? They're the best in the world. One half. See, and Last Scoper, let me get his name correctly. The Last Scoper makes a great point about the Miz. The old Miz would have announced he's having a baby and then shitted on the crowd. That's the old Miz we would have gotten. Not the one that got the "you still got it" chants and so excited. And this is not the Miz I like. I don't like this Miz. This is a corny ass Miz. And I'm not exactly sure what direction they're going with him. Maybe they have Shane turn heel. I don't know, but
I thought that was what was going to happen
tonight. In a match, it's like fucking. It's rinse and repeat with that motherfucker. It's the same shit. You're going to get a coast to coast. You might get 2 of them. And yes, it's an impressive move. Oh, whoop-de-fucking-do. When you see it a million times, it's not that impressive anymore. And then you're going to get that flying elbow drop through a table. And he's either going to connect or he's going to miss. And that's probably going to be the reason why they lost. Or he loses. It's just the same shit every match. So fucking go home, Shane. I don't want you on my TV anymore. Please. Move on. Become backstage. You don't need to be in the match or in the ring after WrestleMania. Please. That's all I have to say about that. Dave, any more comments on that?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really care for the match. It's obvious that's where they're going. Miz and Shane, whether Shane turns heel or whether Miz turns heel on him. It's going to be interesting to see how they do this and what they do going forward, but yeah, I don't really care what they do, honestly. I'm glad they're just no longer tag champions and other teams can focus on going for the titles as long as it's not the New Day. I just do not want to see another New Day and Usos feud. Please.
Oh, man, Shane is just... I didn't mind Shane at first when I went to Dallas and saw him wrestle The Undertaker. I was like, this isn't too bad. But then it started to getting to the point to where he's involving himself in major storylines. He's getting into major matches. It's getting kind of out of control with Shane McMahon. There's no need for him. What was the point of this? For him, what was the point of them to actually win the tag team titles? For them to eventually have these 2 guys feud and have the match at WrestleMania? Did they really need to win the tag team titles for them to actually have this feud? No, they didn't. Probably. It was because Shane has the last fucking name of McMahon. So they said, let's give them the fucking titles, even though they're going to lose it on their first defense.
You know what? It could have been, too. Maybe having a McMahon as tag champions, they thought maybe this will help with the viewership for SmackDown.
And they think that's going to help with their viewership, then Vince needs to get slapped around the fucking head because how the hell would that gain interest by anybody?
Because
Shane
it's a McMahon. It's a McMahon, It's a McMahon. They draw interest.
The point was to diminish the bar, sad but true. Yeah, pretty much, man. I mean, you had the bar look like a fucking joke losing to these two guys. But now Miz is all upset and griping and, oh, I let you down. I let my dad down. And Shane's like, go home, Miz. See you Tuesday. Kind of, think things over and come back when you're, you have a straight-headed, mindset. And
Fastlane rematch, probably.
Fastlane rematch. Probably Miz fucks up again. And we get to the WrestleMania show. So, I can't fucking wait, Dave. Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, it's weird because the way they did the finish of that match, it almost should be Shane the one turning on him.
Exactly.
Because Miz is the one who lost the match.
Exactly. And it looked like Shane was more kind of frustrated and like upset than, the Miz was kind of like upset that he let Shane down. Shane was kind of upset that, this motherfucker just lost it for us.
And I wouldn't mind seeing, I know you guys hate the storyline, but I would not mind seeing a heel Shane McMahon again. It's been a long time.
We'll see. We'll see how that would come out. I haven't seen a heel Shane in a while, so let's see how that would go and work with the Miz. I'd rather see Miz be the heel because this face Miz is just absolute trash. But let's go to another moment tonight that just absolutely ruined my night, which was Finn Balor taking on Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush in a handicap match. And I think last night I predicted that Lashley would win the championship. Lio Rush would maybe pin Balor, but we got the opposite. Finn Balor wins the IC Championship, defeats Lashley and Lio by beating Lio Rush. And then after the match, they did probably the worst thing ever. And pretty much, I'm not sure if this is going to legitimately happen.
Worst thing ever?
They could come back together tomorrow night, but Bobby Lashley took out Lio Rush, everybody. Yes, it's a sad moment. Moment of silence for Lio Rush because he was taken out by Bobby Lashley.
You know what this means, don't you? It's going to be him probably joining the fight against McIntyre, Lashley, and Corbin now.
This is a fucking mistake. This is a mistake, WWE. I get it. Lashley is a dud. Nobody really gives a shit about Lashley. But these two as a tandem were really getting over, in my opinion. They were really gelling together. Having Lio Rush be his spokesperson, his hype man was. I get it.
But
they started off kind of stale, but they eventually started getting going, and to the point to where I actually really enjoyed when Lashley would have matches because of Lio Rush at ringside. I think this is a big mistake. If they're gonna separate them, I'm not sure what they would do with Lio, but have Bobby back by himself. I think that's a mistake.
Well, he's not by himself, obviously. He's with the Corbin. But maybe this is their way of turning Lio Rush face. With not having him be a heel. And trying to see how he would get over with the crowd.
But he's not over with the crowd. People hate him. And that's what made Lio Rush so good. And people do not like him. I don't even think he got sympathy for what he did. Speeds can let us know how
they were cheering
for Lashley. Yeah. I think what happened was they were cheering for Lashley, and Vince was like, fuck, send out Lashley during that no DQ so he can become a heel again. Probably that's not how it worked out, but they did cheer for Lashley when he turned on Lio. So I just don't think that's a good idea to have them turn them on each other. Not sure what they would do with Lio, because Lio on Raw was, man, he was good. He was great on there.
Because Lio was getting really cocky in the match, And then he's the one that cost Lashley his IC title.
I can understand why Lashley got upset. I can understand. I would absolutely agree with you on that. It was, Lio shouldn't have been involved in the match in the first place, and shouldn't have been wanting to get in as much as he did. And he did cost him the match. So I can understand the frustration with Lashley going and snapping and doing what he did. So I'm hoping maybe he kind of goes out there and maybe apologizes to Lio, kind of says, I lost it, my bad, kind of thing. But I just don't feel like that would be a great idea to separate them two. They were gold on the microphone.
I agree because, they were fun and entertaining together. And I like him as a manager, but maybe maybe Lio doesn't want to be just some guy's manager, Maybe he wants to be more than that.
Lio versus Lashley at WrestleMania, right?
Lashley's gonna kill him.
Oh my God, imagine that. What do you think if they did say? Because I'm not sure if he's on 205 Live still. But
Yeah.
what would they do with Leo now? Do you just kind of sweep him underneath the rug? How would you do that with someone who's really over as a heel with the crowd, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy
I hope
because,
so,
yeah, I mean,
Speeds.
he's a good guy to hate. I mean, people hate Leo Rush and they don't like him because how annoying he is. And his whole saying how good he is and how great he is, and maybe they do have some plans for him, who knows? I mean, it's tough because I do like him and them together, but don't see why he hasn't been the Cruiserweight champion yet.
I agree with you.
Because, like, I like Buddy Murphy and all, but to me, you could even say Buddy Murphy could be some on Raw or SmackDown. I think he's already called up on the main roster because he's already traveling with the main roster. But, yeah, I mean, Leo is just great, and he fits Lashley, but maybe he'll figure something out where he's like, okay, I'm sorry, Lashley, I'll get you your title back or whatever. But, yeah, it seems like they're doing something different. They're trying to start their own faction. WWE's getting in the faction business now where they got this little three-man group where they're just all three, which we'll get there, I'm sure. Okay, let's not talk about that yet. Okay, let's talk about this match. Hey, I hate the way they did it for Finn Balor. I'm glad he did finally win another title. And hopefully this is a step in the right direction for Finn Balor. Because, hey, maybe Tony didn't jinx him because now he's an Intercontinental champion.
Didn't I tell you guys that, the jinx is over with Finn Balor? The jinx has been long over for Finn Balor because what have they been pushing him lately? And of course people will say it's because they don't want him to leave and blah, blah, blah. So what? Maybe they see something in Balor finally that they can give. They know that he hasn't had injuries, knock on wood, in a while, and seems to really go out there and perform and bust his ass. I know a lot of people aren't fans of his as well, but for a little while, it looked like he was going to move on to the 205 Live roster. I mean, he even had a debut match last week against Leo Rush. Yeah. So things were kind of getting on the iffy side with with Finn Balor.
You know what I like about Bobby Lashley as the champion, though, and I really don't like as the kind of these other guys like the Rollinses and like the Finn Balor's what they do with this title, which I'll see if he does actually do it tomorrow night. One thing I loved about Bobby Lashley, he wore the title. Guys don't wear the titles anymore. They just put them on their shoulder and walk out with it. It's like, I'm the big bad guy. Brock even does it too, I believe. I believe Brock wears the title when he comes out. But a lot of the guys today don't really wear the title and treat it with like the respect it should be worn, not just carry it on your shoulder and just thrown in the ring. That's why I like how Bobby Lashley wearing that title is like, man, I love that title. That's one of my favorite titles I think ever right there, the IC title.
It's funny that you say that because Bobaruski in the chat room says, you jinxed Elias, you motherfucker. Remember I'd say it's not, Elias was going to have a bad year. And I'm wearing a Elias t-shirt tonight from the WWE Loot Crate that I got a couple of months ago. So that's just funny that you mentioned.
What do you think? Where does the IC title rank on people's list? At least this looking IC title. Do you like this title?
I like it. Yeah, I like the white version of the title. I absolutely. Now, Speed says that's because Finn would look like a 12-year-old if he wore the belt. Yeah, he would.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley's big, and when he wears that belt, it just looks like it fits him perfectly, I
think the IC title fits Finn Balor, and I could see a Kevin Owens rivalry happening when he comes back. I think a lot of people were hoping that maybe Kevin Owens would get his revenge on Bobby Lashley eventually by, because taking the title from Lashley, but obviously that's not going to happen. Thank you again, everybody, for the Super Hearts from Speeds, Ella Chica, and Bill. Thank you, everybody, for everyone on Twitch as well.
Bot has us.
Not only am I wearing an Elias t-shirt, but you can also get a Get the Tables t-shirt now available. You can just message me over on Twitter and hit us up for a Get the Tables t-shirt. Only $15, everybody. Shipping and handling is free. Even if you live overseas, we will definitely still ship it for free. So just hit me up on Twitter at Get the Tables, or even at the Homie the Clown 24 Twitter account, and we can get you set up. We already got I think Peckinrod, not Peckinrod, excuse me. Gosh, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but we got at least 2 or 3 people who are already down to be buying t-shirts. You saw Brandon Cantino post his on Twitter I think 2 weeks ago. So if you're interested, just hit me up and let us know, and we will send it your way. Why aren't you wearing your own merch tonight? I was gonna wear my Get the Tables T-shirt tonight, BJ, but I just feel like I didn't feel like wearing it. Make tank tops. All right, I'll keep that in mind. All right, that's something I will keep in mind for sure. Thank you for letting us know that, Ella Chica. Appreciate that. Thank you again for the super hearts as well. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think we should give some. We give those Periscope shout outs. I think we should give some Twitch shout outs.
Texas Legends. You got the bot over on Twitch. Jody Mania. We got Truth and Loyalty over here. We had Bob Aruski popping in over here on Twitch as well. We have, who else was over here? Juanito was over here. We had the Architect over here as well. So we had a nice little people, some people popping in over there. I would buy one if you had my size. Well, Peck and Rod, just let me know what size you are via DM, and we'll go there. I'm not gonna try to put you on the spot there. Street Profits, if they want a T-shirt, I'll give it to them for free. That's for sure. I would buy one. Oh, sorry. Did you hear KO is helping some of the NXT superstars with their promos? I had no idea. That's can't get any better information, get any better help from Kevin Owens. Thank you, Speeds. I appreciate that. I'll be definitely talking to you about that later on. Definitely for sure. Let's go through the chat real quick. Do you think WWE leaks fake stories to motivate guys? Wouldn't doubt it. It's WWE. It's Vince McMahon. Leo has no business anywhere other than 205 Live as a wrestler. I would have to agree with you on that. Lashley is done with the showing his ass. He's a singles monster now. He was. Without Leo Rush, I'm not sure how far he's going to go. Now, you say that Finn Balor is you're happy Finn Balor is the champ. Now, where do you think they go with Finn Balor from here? If you could predict, you got your magic crystal ball here, and assuming Finn Balor is still your champ come WrestleMania time, who do you think they would have Finn Balor go up against?
See, I honestly couldn't be surprised there's a rematch on Raw tomorrow night, and Bobby Lashley wins it right back because of his little new team. But, I mean, if he is still the champ come WrestleMania, I mean, jeez. I have no fucking idea. Who, Elias? I mean, I don't know. I mean, who's really on Raw to challenge for the IC title right now?
Could they do a Kevin Owens Finn Balor match?
Yeah, but didn't people say they're bringing Kevin Owens back as a good guy?
Yeah, well, I mean, they could always change things. It's WWE, you know them. They change things left and right.
Yeah, but
and like you said,
who do they have?
Like you're just saying right now, who do they have that they could go out there and have a solid?
I mean, who do they have that can face Brock? I mean, who do they have right now? Say Seth Rollins the day after WrestleMania. Who faces Seth Rollins for the title? I mean, because if Brock is gone and he's doing his UFC thing. I mean, unless that's when they're doing the draft that day, that next Monday or whatever, because they need it. Because Raw needs superstars. They have nobody. Raw has 0 people on that show.
McIntyre. That's a possibility. Kevin Owens, Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose is gone after April, I think. But,
well, he can still have a match at Mania, even though he'll most likely lose. He can
it won't be a big marquee match, I wouldn't think. You know, just because you don't want to showcase him that much. But, I mean, yeah, I guess you could go McIntyre challenging him, but does McIntyre want the IC title? He's been there, done that. I think he wants the big title. And so, I think he wants the Universal title, which I have no idea when they want that, but still. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess you can go McIntyre as a U.S. champion or McIntyre versus Rollins for the title. People think McIntyre's going to get the title. I don't. I think Strowman will probably get it before anyone else do.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know what they could do. I mean, like you said, you can go McIntyre, I guess, but Raw is so lacking right now. I mean, they don't have... Who would you go with for against Finn Balor at WrestleMania?
Probably Kevin Owens. I'd do Kevin Owens. Have him turn heel. You can have him be this... Yeah, it doesn't look like he's much of a heel or a face right now with his promos. But you can kind of have him in there and turn heel.
Not Kevin Owens, but someone on the current Raw roster right now.
Probably McIntyre.
Yeah, that's so slim on there.
Yeah, there's not very much to choose from until that draft happens, which is very much needed. It's time for some roster mix-up.
Yeah, they need...
Let's see, what else on the chamber did we miss? Did we miss anything else? I'm trying to think of...
Yes, Tony, we did.
Oh,
there was a street fight, or a no DQ match.
A no DQ match between Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin, a.k.a. the match no one really gave a shit about. Baron Corbin ends up defeating Braun Strowman with the help of Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. They end up powerbombing him through 2 tables that were stacked, which was a pretty cool table spot, I guess. But other than that, I mean, did anybody really care for this match? I think the only thing I really was shocked at, I guess you could say, was the outcome, which was Baron Corbin winning. I thought maybe Braun would get over, but it seems like this feud with Braun and Corbin is not going anywhere anytime soon. They've been fucking feuding since Crown fucking Jewel, and they can't seem to get rid of these 2 guys from feuding with each other. And it's like we'll probably get Kurt Angle involved in it now, and I'm not sure who else they'll throw in the mix.
Leo Rush? I can easily see Leo Rush thrown into this.
It's just like, what the fuck, man? It's just a never-ending feud.
Yeah. I would not be surprised if this is a WrestleMania match where it's like a 6-man tag.
I just don't fucking get what the WWE is doing right now with Baron Corbin, and especially Braun Strowman. Talk about a guy that's become a bitch in the WWE. This man was on top of the world in the WWE, flipping fucking cars, 18-wheelers, doing whatever the fuck he wanted. And now he's losing to Baron Corbin. And it's just ridiculous what we get from Baron. Braun Strowman is not a monster anymore to me. He's a bitch. And I would never call that in front of his face, obviously, because he would actually kill me. But he has become a bitch, man. Absolutely. TLC, where the match did mean something. So Drew and Bobby found time to help Baron win a match that meant nothing, but couldn't find time at TLC where the match... Yeah, exactly. He's getting Ryback, says NoFX. Wow, that's interesting comparison.
Well, I guess this was kind of a turn.
Kofi did deserve it tonight, yes, absolutely.
You know, kind of what happened at TLC. Corbin got beat up, and now the heel gets his revenge.
Why do they need to get involved? Why is McIntyre and why is Lashley, who hasn't been involved in this feud since he's won the title and became with Leo Rush, why do they care so much about Braun Strowman, about beating the shit out of him so much?
Because they're all friends, I guess. Because when they all beat up Braun in the beginning and took him out, so they're all 3 involved. You know, type thing.
So fucking stupid. What did you think of the match?
I didn't care for it either. It was like, okay, Drew. I was waiting for Angle to come out, honestly.
I was waiting for Angle to come out, and I said on Twitter, and Speeds, who was there live, said agrees with me. It was a clusterfuck. Let's just have Corbin come and let's have McIntyre come out. Oh, let's have Lashley come out. Talk about making Braun Strowman super, strong and having the 3 strongest, the 2 out of the, the main 2 strong guys of the roster come out there and destroy you, along with Baron Corbin.
He was amazing strong. I'm sorry. If this was, I'm sorry, dude. I'm not hating on him. Yes, this isn't a personal attack. This is just a wrestling attack on the guy. Roman Reigns would have got up from that table spot and speared all 3 of them and walked away standing tall. I'm sorry, that's how Roman Reigns is booked. He would have got up from that table spot and beat them all up.
Legends fan Brian, is Corbin versus Strowman more of we have nothing for Braun or for Corbin from WWE point of view? Yes.
What about Drew? I mean, shit.
Exactly. And I said that on Twitter tonight. Drew McIntyre, he may not be over with a lot of fans either. They may not like him. They may think he's stale, repetitive, whatever have you. But they were treating this guy like he was the Scottish monster. This guy was never getting pinned. He was, if they did lose their tag match with him and Ziggler was the guy losing. And then you had him start taking losses from Balor, from Ziggler, and now he's stuck in some type of
normal NXT guy.
He's just in a stupid feud now. And what happened to this man's momentum? Is it really because what we were talking about months ago that he couldn't get this feud with Ziggler over, so they're pretty much calling it quits with McIntyre on his push? This is just ridiculous.
It seems like we're back to that same old thing where guys who come from NXT have so much trouble getting over on the main roster because for some reason Vince doesn't see nothing in them at all anymore. And it's like Mr. McMahon, Vince, whatever you want to call him, gets tired of what he's saying, and it's not working. Maybe he's blaming the guys in the current spot for low ratings, and when they're on top of doing stuff, that's all stuff people hated, so they're going a different direction. So now they're trying it this way. They give us Balor as the IC champion, Sasha and Bayley as the tag champions, the Revival as the tag champions. You know, they're giving us all these people as champions we want to see, and I'm sure we're going to get Rollins as the Universal champion, so they're giving everyone who they want.
And Becky, don't forget Becky.
Well, that's not Raw. I'm talking about Raw.
So
I mean, but just the Raw side, I'm saying, because that's everyone wanted to be champions, and now they're all champions except Rollins at the moment.
Yeah, see, Speeds puts a good point in the chat. He said that's why I like Brock. Brock guys. He's the only big guy, badass that's booked like a big guy badass. He's right.
Yeah,
he's absolutely
he's getting
right.
paid a lot of money. And he draws ratings.
What's up, Reverend? How you doing tonight, dude? Thank you for popping into the Periscope. Again, if you haven't already and you're new to our Periscope channel,
nice shirt.
We are live every Tuesdays and Saturday nights. So we'd really appreciate you guys hitting that follow button and joining us I hit the wrong button. Every Friday and Saturday nights. I would appreciate that. We will be live hopefully Friday as well, co-streaming again Impact Wrestling. I haven't decided yet if we're going to do another Impact co-stream this week. It's kind of nothing really blockbuster happening this Friday, but man, this past Friday's watch party was fun. And
well, it is the first Vegas show,
we
so I don't know.
Everybody. Other newsworthy was Scarlett Bordeaux having her debut match, so that we may have one. Who knows? But we are going to continue on doing them. We just may not do them when there's nothing really crazy happening on the show. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We had a good turnout Friday night, so we do appreciate everybody popping in. Hopefully everybody can join us again this Friday if we're live again. And then Saturday will be again our Shoot the Shit, where we just kind of touch on everything wrestling related. So thank you everybody for joining us on Periscope and Twitch
back to
tonight.
normal.
And we appreciate everybody's support with the Super Hearts and sharing and retweeting the product. Thank you very much. And thank you for Speeds, who was there live at Elimination Chamber, for coming in here and hanging out with us and kind of giving his point of view since he was there live. Vince doesn't want anyone to be big like Stone Cold or Hulk Hogan, so he keeps everyone down, says Peckerod. That's a good point, because Vince can't afford to F him up because Brock would slaughter Vince.
I disagree with that. Why would he not want to create guys like Austin, Rock, or Hogan again, the biggest stars ever in wrestling? Why would he not want them again? It's not that he doesn't want to create them again. It's like there's no one there anywhere near those guys'
There's
level.
no one that he feels that is big enough status other than Brock. No one else gets treated like a star other than Brock Lesnar. And that's the honest truth, everybody. If agree or disagree, I can understand your opinion, and you may hate Brock. But you have to admit there's no one that's built like a star other than Brock Lesnar. He shows up when he wants, dominates when he does. People hate him. People want to see him lose, and that's what makes a star, you know? If he wasn't a star, no one would give a shit about him. He would be treated like Baron Corbin, where no one really gives a shit. But people love to hate Brock Lesnar. He may not, show up every Raw. He may not defend his title every week. But people hate him so much to where he's having a match, and you're hoping and praying that he loses. And that's a good thing. That's great booking. And you may hate it, but it's a good. And Vince McMahon's doing a good job.
And it's gonna suck when he does lose. If he does lose, he should probably lose.
A lot of people hate on Brock now, but when he's gone, after Rollins wins the title, and Brock's gone, let's see how Rollins does. I get it. Rollins is a fan favorite. Rollins does have tremendous matches. I will not deny that. But let's see if he can keep the ball rolling like Brock does. Because when Brock shows up on a Raw, they get good ratings for the most part, because he's not on it all the time, and people are eager to see what he does, or eager to see what he says, or this and that. Once he's gone, let's see here all these people who hate him wish that he was back. Let's see if the tides turn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, because if we're gonna get into those dog days of summer, and are we still going to have good ratings? Or is Rollins as champion going to still draw all those big? Yes, it's going to count on how they book the show. I get that. But Rollins is on the show.
Dude. Always appreciate
so it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if Rollins is on Raw every week, like everyone wants the Universal title on Raw, which who knows by then. it might not even be that way by then. You know, everything, because we're going to get that draft, so that could change everything. Rollins might not even be on Raw. He could be on SmackDown, all we know.
Right, and it just, to me, WWE hasn't made enough big enough stars yet. Or when they do have an opportunity to make a star, they screw it up. Or they just kind of just stop with the whole
Get hurt.
the momentum. Or, yeah, someone gets hurt. Like, for example, Braun Strowman could have been that next big guy. Could have been the next person that could have been the next big monster. Could have been booked like a Brock Lesnar. And where he dominates, no one can beat him, this and that. But they dropped the ball with him tremendously. And yes, it was because he feuded with Roman Reigns and he never beat him. It's this and that. But it just seems like when they have stars on the roster, they don't 100% trust them and give them a shot. Unless you're Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, I mean, maybe even Daniel Bryan to an extent. But guys like, a Samoa Joe, who is a credible wrestler, who is both great in the ring and great on the microphone, has been given zero chance at even holding any type of gold. But you have guys like, I'm trying to think of a silly, like Shane McMahon, and I know this is probably a horrible example, but look at Shane, who doesn't wrestle at all, just gets driven into a storyline and wins titles already. When you have Samoa Joe, who's been there for years, busting his ass, and hasn't won a title since he was with NXT.
Well, maybe you could give him the title, the U.S. title, since it's R-Truth has it right now. I mean, that's always a possibility.
If you were a betting man, would you think that they would give a title to Samoa Joe? I wouldn't. I don't think they'll ever give a title to Samoa Joe. I think they give him a title.
I think even if just see how he does as U.S. champion, I can see that. Where he could actually help bring that title back up to where it once was, too. So, giving the title to a guy like a Samoa Joe or Andrade or anybody that would help that. Nothing against our...
You have guys that have chances to become stars, but the WWE kills them with the way they book them. Because Joe is a great enough wrestler and a great enough guy on the mic to hold the world title, either on Raw or SmackDown. But for some odd reason, he cannot get a chance. But you have Shane, and then you have other guys that just get thrown into the mix that win titles with a snap of their finger.
Would he be better off just joining a tag team and have a chance at the tag titles?
He deserves. I mean, look at R-Truth. And this is now knock on R-Truth because he works his ass off. He's been with the WWE for years now. He's done a lot for them. Yes, he deserved that U.S. title. But did he really deserve it, though? If you're really looking at it, yes, he's a great person, and he does a lot for the WWE. But what has he done on TV to get him to win that title?
He got the only thing I can think of that he did.
Yeah, he was.
Is when they told Truth TV stuff, and they did all stuff, he was getting big reactions. And that's the difference. Maybe he doesn't see Joe getting those same kind of reactions.
But Joe isn't supposed to, though. That's the thing.
Maybe he doesn't think he's getting enough bad reactions either. I mean, yes, the stuff with AJ was good, but maybe Vince just doesn't see it much in him. He just doesn't. Look, they even gave the Usos the tag titles back. I mean, it's like...
That's all I want. I just want, like Babaruski said...
And you know what Joe's biggest problem is? You know what Joe's biggest problem is, though, seriously? He's not related to The Rock. That's his only problem.
Well, that's true. But, like, can you tell me a reason why, like, a guy like R-Truth, and look, we get it. He's great great in the ring. He's a great entertainer. But once he got stuck with Carmella, yeah, he was starting getting over with the fans. And, yeah, it was a pretty cool feel-good moment with him winning the U.S. title. But why is he still your champ? It should be someone else that's actually getting used on SmackDown Live and actually doing things, and like a Randy Orton or a Samoa Joe or even an AJ Styles. Someone else that's actually getting used. I just wish WWE was just more consistent on guys that they try to bring up as stars. Because I'm worried about some of these NXT guys that get brought up because they might get treated like a Samoa Joe.
Or Drew McIntyre, yeah. But also, you got to think of Vince McMahon. We all know he loves R-Truth. So that has a lot to do with it too. Look at this the old vet out there, still entertaining and still getting really over with the crowd. And he said, okay, let's give him the Nakamura. Maybe he's leaving. Who knows? Maybe they want to form this, which I've seen a video on
Too Sweet Pod.
Twitter or Facebook today, I think, about Lana putting Nakamura and Rusev as a team. They're an official tag team now. So maybe that's why they're doing this.
It's just a joke, man.
The whole thing with Truth. It seems that's where they're going with Lana or with Rusev and all them. But maybe there's something else they want to do with Truth right now. Make him maybe put someone else over, like a younger guy, and have him do it like that. A fan favorite, which Truth has always been, and we all know Vince loves Truth. And Truth went out there in 2019 and got this little mixed match challenge gimmick over with Carmella. And actually, I don't think they were originally picked to win the thing at all. And all of a sudden, I think Truth and the crowd changed everyone's mind, which no one watched it anyway, but I think that was the whole fact. The only reason Truth won it is because they got the crowd behind them big time.
Truth strikes me as a big show kind of guy that everybody backstage absolutely loves. Yeah. I agree with you. I disagree with you, MD 1181. I don't think Elimination Chamber sucked. It depends on what kind of expectations you had coming into the show. If you had tremendously high expectations, then maybe the show sucked. But if you came in like me, that had very low expectations, didn't think this card was worth a damn. We talked about it yesterday night. We've been talking about the last couple of weeks that, you know, this card hasn't been that great. But I thought tonight they delivered for the most part. We'll get to our ratings here in a minute. But what do you think about this little part? And I think DX mentioned in the chat room. This whole Lacey Evans thing, where they had Lacey Evans come out and then just leave. Like, what was the fucking point was that in that? Thank you for it was great in my opinion. Cambino, thank you, Cambino, for your comments. Appreciate it. Hit that follow button if you haven't already.
That's my whole thinking is just a little time killer. Just to get her out on a pay-per-view, walk her. I think Vince is really high on this girl. That's why they're doing this, too. They're getting her out there, getting her face on a pay-per-view so people know who she is. Oh, that's Lacey Evans. Walk out, and then walk back. You know, I
don't even understand the point of that. They didn't
maybe they needed more time. Maybe they need. Yeah, they did. They were talking about it. Like, oh, here comes Lacey Evans,
and then they went to a commercial break, and then when they came back, it was the Elimination Chamber. Like,
maybe they just wanted to have some time. Maybe they needed a spot. And they just wanted to throw her out.
You were there
really
live.
Quick.
Did they do anything with Lacey? Did she just walk out to the stage and then walk back out? I'm guessing that's what happened with her.
Yeah, they showed her. They showed her walk down the ramp, then turn around and walk back out.
Oh, they did. I must have missed that. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
They showed her walk in and walk out. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. They could have just had to have her do a promo backstage or something.
That's what I thought they were doing. Something. That's what I thought they were going to do. But
loves eye candy. That's for true. That's for sure.
She loves blondes.
He can speak. He doesn't need Heyman. Would putting Heyman with Joe get him over better? No. Iowa Neck. Samoa Joe can light a mic on fire with how good he is on a promo. Samoa Joe doesn't need no talking piece. Samoa Joe needs a you know what Samoa Joe needs, everybody? And I think everybody would say, yes, sir, amen to that. He just needs a fucking chance. They just need to give him the title and see how he does with it. That's it. That's all they need. He doesn't need a talking piece. He doesn't need to be going out there and having more awesome matches because most of the time when Samoa Joe's out there, he's having some pretty solid matches. They just need to give him a chance. That's all.
No, it would be a little different situation, but I mean, because he was already made into kind of a star anyway before WWE, but maybe not in the case of consent either. But I mean, is it kind of like under like the CM Punk factor too a little bit, where Vince is afraid if he gives this guy this big push, something could happen and he would just leave and then turn into this whole CM Punk scenario again. Yes, granted it was a medical reason Punk left and got fired, but is he afraid
I think to me,
these guys so high up on the pedestal to make them big stars on his show, and then all of a sudden they turn around and just leave?
To me,
and go
I think
else.
Samoa Joe is a company guy. Samoa Joe doesn't catch me as a guy that holds grudges or would do that, because if he would have already fucking left, because he's been treated like a joke for a while now. And tonight is the fucking icing on the cake with him being the first one eliminated. That's just a joke. it's WWE may have this mind. Oh, he's chubby. He's not the exact built of a WWE wrestler that we like a Rollins, like a Brock, like a Roman, etc., etc. But that's to me the only reason why they won't give this guy the belt, because he doesn't fit the he's 6-pack, muscles everywhere type of guy. He's more of like a Mick Foley kind of built. Not you guys get what I mean. Like, he's not that 6-pack. He's not a Finn Balor. That's what I'm going at. He's not like that.
Anyone Finn Balor?
Where he's just Rollins isn't a chubby guy.
I don't think Rollins is even like Finn Balor.
But what I'm getting at is he's not the build that Vince McMahon drools over on a weekly basis, like he did at there's all this beef in the ring. I'm sure he doesn't consider Samoa Joe that. I'm sure he considers him fat, but I just felt
Kevin Owens is under that little whole thing
sure
too.
But they've at least given Kevin Owens a chance. They gave him that chance and ran with it.
I think because Kevin Owens.
Is it because Kevin Owens wears a shirt? Is that why?
No, I think it's because Kevin Owens knows what. I'm not saying Joe isn't as good as Kevin Owens, but just how Kevin Owens still connects to that crowd, does it so well the way he does in the ring. When he's like talking to the crowd and he's cracking people up and he's doing all this. It's just Kevin Owens is like, when he felt like he was kind of getting buried, he talked himself almost out of it. And I think another problem is a lot of people, they don't have personal relationships with Vince McMahon.
I hope so, Reverend.
And that's the first problem.
He says in the chat room, I believe his loyalty and taking losses will pay off one day. Timing is everything. I hope so. I really do hope so. Let's see. Samoa Joe needs a championship. I think it's because Lacey had to run to the bathroom. Jody Mania makes a great comment in the chat. Lacey is no Scarlett. Amen to that.
Well, this is no WE is PG. So
Lacey Evans doesn't get the crowd stopping what they're doing immediately and checking out what they're doing. That's for sure. That's funny. Have Lacey out, but no Auska. WWE creative at their finest. Yeah, you have.
Yeah, why not have Auska there watching this match, or have her there, even if you don't have her on commentary, have her out there sitting ringside, too, like watching the match, or backstage. Like, Auska, what do you think about this match? Are you looking, maybe you want to interview?
Joe will get pushed when his contract is about to expire. That's when he will become champ. Probably.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kevin, it's funny and can get heat on himself and others. He is also a great worker. Yeah, Kevin Owens in overall, I would put Kevin Owens in that great wrestler category because he does it all. There's not really.
I think Joe too, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm just so dumbfounded why Vince McMahon can't give this man any. It's not even just a world title. I mean, I'll be okay with Samoa Joe with having the US title.
Kevin Owens was Universal Champion, but let's all be real. He was a transitional champion to give it to Goldberg.
Right, yeah, that is true.
It wasn't like Kevin Owens got this. It wasn't like Kevin Owens got this huge run where he's like undefeated for a year, like AJ got. But no, because AJ's one of those guys like Vince loves. I'm not sure how long Bryan's going to keep the title, but he seems to be in that favor with Vince right now, which of course he has a great relationship with him right now, but. It's just, we'll see what happens. How cool would it be if it ends up being Joe versus Bryan at WrestleMania and Joe wins the title at WrestleMania?
Speaking of Leo Rush, he just put out a tweet, "Hey, Bobby, if you get this, give me a call back." And so it looks like he's trying to hash things out with Bobby Lashley. So hopefully, I'm praying that these two guys do not break up. So we're going to try to end it here. I think we've been going on for almost... an hour and a half, so not too bad. We hit over 2,000 views tonight, so thank you very much for the showing tonight. Again, apologize again last night for the tremendous amount of technical issues we had last night. It really hit me hard last night. I usually when we don't have good shows, I take it really hard on myself, and I was really hard on myself last night, even though it was technical issues that it was out of my control, which is OBS continuing to fall every now and then. Thank goodness I did an update on my computer this morning, and we haven't had, knock on wood, no issues tonight. So I appreciate all the kind words you guys gave me last night in the comment box. Thanks, Spees, as well. Gave me some nice vote of confidence as well. And I appreciate everybody, being nice about it, because you all know when you don't have a good performance at work or anywhere, you don't really feel good about yourself. So I appreciate everybody making those nice comments last night, and thank you, OBS, for not failing tonight. I appreciate that. And I do appreciate everybody going over there on Twitter and following us over there. It's crazy. We've been going live on Twitter for about a month already, and we're almost at 40 followers, everybody. We're at 39 followers on Twitch. We're trying to hit 50 by WrestleMania. So if you haven't already, be a kind person and just jump over to Twitch and drop us a follow over at Get the Tables. What did I say, DX? Did I say something different?
Twitter.
What did I say? I'm sorry,
Twitter.
Twitch. I get certain things mixed up. Chamber, Hell in a Cell, Twitch, Twitter. But yeah, we're over on Twitch. Had a good showing tonight. Had about 10 to 15 viewers max a couple of times. So we do appreciate everybody who joins us on Twitch. Like I said, if you can't see the chat room in Periscope for some odd freaking reason, jump over to Twitch. We have a good little audience over there as well. And we do appreciate everybody. Like Truth and Loyalty, a guy who was not able to see the chat on Periscope, jumped over on Twitch and is over there with us talking over there. So we do appreciate everyone. Thank you for Spees as well for the Super Hearts and coming in here and giving his thoughts since he was there live. Well, thank you, Misfit, for coming in here and joining us tonight. Hopefully you'll hit that follow button and join us a little bit more often. We're live every Tuesdays and Saturdays. Friday, we co-stream Impact Wrestling. Iffy for this week, but more than likely we will. But we'll let you know for sure on Twitter. So, Dave, overall, favorite match of the night? I know it's probably kind of obvious. Favorite match of the night, your MVP, which will probably be obvious as well. So, stupid questions, and your rating overall for Elimination Chamber.
Match of the night, of course, Ronda and Ruby Riott. Ronda and Ruby, match of the night.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, I mean, you say don't pick no chamber matches there, but all those matches in between were just shitty in my opinion. I didn't like how they did the Balor situation. I'm glad he won the title. I just didn't like that match. I didn't like the crappy no DQ match. I didn't like the women's title match.
Wow.
But so I didn't like any of that shit. That all was stupid to me. I didn't like it. I didn't even like the women's chamber match. I thought that was stupid. Other than the ending. The botches destroyed it for me. I didn't care for this match that much at all. There were some nice little spots in it, yes, but this women's match, to me, it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I had high expectations for this match, and it didn't deliver at all. I thought the men's chamber match was the best match on the whole show. I guess a rating for the show, I'll give it a 2 just for that, just for the chamber itself, because the men's chamber, because it was good. I mean,
sheesh.
Man. The men's chamber was awesome. I love this match. This is my favorite match, the only match worth watching. If I'm giving you a recommendation, only watch this match, and that's it. I mean, because you want to go skim through the last 5 minutes of the women's chamber to see new champs, go for it.
Wow.
The men's chamber, I mean, MVP of the match, I mean, you almost want to give it to Kofi because he went out there and did it again, just like he did on Tuesday.
Don't you dare do it, Dave. I know who you're going to give it to. Don't you dare do it. Don't you dare do it. You're going to give it to Daniel Bryan, aren't you?
Well, I mean, come on. I mean, Daniel Bryan went 36 minutes, and he started the chamber in front of that fickle crowd. So he went out there against all odds and overcame all the odds, and he's the only one to ever do this. To start the chamber as champion and keep the title. I don't think he started it his first time when he was the world champion, but Daniel Bryan. Look, I love what Kofi did. It was awesome. Yes, I'm a big Bryan fan, but yeah, Kofi went out there and killed it. I mean, I'm happy for him. I was hoping for a turn, but yeah, Bryan was killing it out there.
No way she did. Did she really do that, Jeffrey Cross? He said, "Did you guys see Carmella blow Corey a kiss?" I did not see that. If that, I did not see that. That's crazy. Daniel Bryan. Yeah, hey. Bob Ruski, I kind of agrees with you. He said Daniel Bryan risked his head again, MVP. I even put it on Twitter that I kind of held my breath on some of those shots Daniel Bryan were taking.
I was like, the ending of that where they're on top of that pod. I'm like, oh, don't do this. Come on, you guys are going to kill yourselves. And then the miss when he missed that splash, he knew it was over then.
Oh, Jeffrey Kosh, he did? That's crazy. That's insane. I have to go check that. That's insane. Carmella don't give a fuck, man. Damn.
Yeah. You know what's funny about that? If you listen to her music, it fits her now. But yeah, if you just listen to the song, the words are in the song is crazy.
All right, so I'm gonna have a different point of view.
I figured.
Different opinion. Match of the night. It'd have to be the Chamber, of course.
Which one?
The men's. Excuse me. I thought most of the matches on the card weren't that bad. I enjoyed the women's tag. The match after that was the men's tag. I didn't give a fuck about it. I was happy with the outcome. I didn't really care for the handicap match because of how it was booked a little bit, and then what happened afterwards where Lashley destroyed Lio Rush. Ruby Riott and Ronda Rousey was a joke. But what happened afterwards, I did enjoy. I know a lot of people were kind of tired of the Becky Lynch gimmick and stuff like that. But I enjoyed it for the most. I liked how it was booked. Could have been done a little bit better. Maybe Charlotte could have
done it on Raw.
Yeah, it could have been a Raw moment. That's for sure. What was after that? The no DQ. I just didn't really care about the match itself because I'm just tired of Baron and Strowman facing each other. So I really can't give a fair rating on that because I'd probably give it a negative one, even if it was a good match. But I came into this pay-per-view with very low expectations. We've been dogging this show for the most part. A lot of people have said this pay-per-view really didn't look good on paper. Was kind of a throwaway pay-per-view, but I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed myself pretty much throughout the whole pay-per-view. And like I said, I enjoyed the women's tag match more than I thought I was going to. My MVP of the night, I'm going to have two of them. I want to say Kofi. And the obvious would be Kofi, but I'm just going to give Kofi I'm going to give them that pass because we all should give Kofi the MVP because he's had one of the best weeks I think a wrestler has had in quite some time. I mean, he defeated Samoa Joe. He defeated Jeff Hardy. He beat Daniel Bryan. He beat Randy Orton. I mean, he's beaten some of the big times on the SmackDown Live roster to maybe where he might get considered a little bit of a shot down the road. But I'm going to give mine to actually 4 because we're in the women's chamber match, and there were 2 tag teams. The Riot Squad and the Iconics, I thought, shined tonight, and I hope they get something out of this. But the match of the night to me was Tozawa and Buddy Murphy.
Really? Better than the chamber match?
It's easy to pick the chamber. Easy. But as a match on the card that, wasn't even on the card, it was on the pre-show, I thought that Cruiserweight title match delivered, and it was a very entertaining match. And the crowd was really into it as well. I just really enjoyed that match. I just really enjoy 205 Live matches for the most part. I can't really complain with them.
Hey, I mean, that's crazy. I never thought I'd hear someone pick match of the night, a Cruiserweight title over the world.
The Iconics, to me, too, they're just not getting as much love tonight as I thought they were going to get. Maybe Speeds, maybe Dr. Huge, or someone else on their shows. Maybe tomorrow I'll mention them. But I thought they did fantastic tonight for figuring out who they are on SmackDown Live. A group of ladies that are not taken very seriously. I thought tonight they really showed that they can go out there and have a wrestling match and be considered as, quality opponents, whoever is holding those tag titles.
But they weren't out there that long either. They were out there about as long as Jeff Hardy was, I think.
I think they were out there a little bit longer, but they're not known for actually looking like they have a shot against anyone when they're in the match. And tonight, I thought maybe they'll pull off the upset. But, of course, they did not. And were squashed by Nia I think Nia beat them, right? Or did they lose by someone else? I can't
I
remember.
think it was Nia.
But
And
I thought they shined tonight, and so did the Riot Squad. Other than, of course, Ruby Riot, but Logan and Morgan, they looked good out there tonight. Props to them.
Oh, yeah.
Anything in the chat room? It was a good match. Murphy is doing his thing. My MVP is Randy Orton and Riot Squad. Kofi wins at WrestleMania. To be fair, on paper, most of their pay-per-views look garbage, says Papa Ruski. Goddamn.
You know, I was thinking when someone mentioned that, what if they went the route of giving Kofi Kingston a one-on-one title shot at, like, Fastlane?
It's a possibility. Or they could, like they said, like you said, actually, Mustafa Ali. And I'm just curious if it was Mustafa in this direction, because we're going to end it here in just a few minutes.
He won the match?
No. If Mustafa was in this match, if the crowd would have gotten behind him as much as they did with Kofi. That's all.
Probably not. No. And to me, this almost benefited the WWE because, yes, I get it, the month we're in. And to me, that's probably one reason why we got this spot, because of Black History Month. And Kofi really got signed, but Mustafa Ali getting hurt was enough. I'm glad he's going to be okay, which I hope he is. I'm sure he'll be back soon. But inserting Kofi this week really helped Kofi a lot, and it almost turned into Kofi getting this push and the crowd getting behind it 100%. And, man, I love it. I mean, I'm glad for Kofi, a guy who's been there forever. Like they said during the match, 2 veteran wrestlers out here just going out there and killing it. I don't remember really ever seeing Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston before this week.
Hey,
maybe they've had it.
You heard him, Bob Ruski. Loot Lake. Yeah, me and Speeds have been playing Fortnite together. Yep, that kid game, we've been playing it together. And Truth and Loyalty, who is an African-American, says he agrees with you, Dave, that it's the only reason why Kofi got pushed, because of Black History Month.
I agree. But to me, it was good, though, because, not saying because of why he's getting pushed, but because Mustafa Ali got hurt, this gives Kofi an opportunity to show Vince McMahon and everyone else, hey, the crowd is behind Kofi. You could give him a push on something. Let him do something. You know, because Kofi deserves more than just being a member of...
To be fair, WWE does this a lot, though. And I know, who am I to say stuff like this? Because it's not my... it's not my ballpark to even comment on this, but it does feel like when it is Black History Month, the WWE do like to try to push their African Americans a lot more than they usually do.
Oh, look what they did tonight. After the Chamber, look what they're doing.
Yeah.
Is that different?
That Mark Henry thing. Yeah, that's true. And they did mention that too, that it was kind of part of the Black History Month type of thing. But and I think we can all kind of see it too, that around this time, they start pushing certain guys on the roster a little bit more than they usually would. Who knows if Mustafa got hurt or not, if Kofi would have been placed in this situation or not. So, yeah, damn it. Why didn't Bobby retain then? Horse shit. That's true. That is very true. So, I just feel like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I am glad that Kofi did get a shot tonight, and he did have a great week. And like we've said it before, the New Day, other guys on the roster have said it.
And there's opportunity.
Is a company guy. He doesn't mind going out there and putting over guys anytime. He's done it before. You never hear him bitch. You never hear him moan. You don't see him going on these podcasts and complaining and doing all this stuff. Granted, he's in a good situation with the New Day. But he's always has a, like my wife always tells me, she loves Kofi Kingston because he's the only one that goes out there, maybe other than Finn Balor, and smiles all the time. He's always looking like he's happy to be there, no matter what the situation is. And I'm happy for Kofi. Hopefully this does lead to something for them, or for him at least. We have to wait and see. But props to Kofi for having a tremendous Tuesday and a tremendous night tonight. Let's see. Yeah, Kofi isn't an idiot like Dolph, where he's constantly saying stupid shit on social media. Kofi got a shot tonight because of his performance on SmackDown. They were impressed. I would agree with you on that. He seized the moment, and injury is an opportunity. Yeah, absolutely. And we don't wish any, harm on Mustafa. But hey, this helped Kofi Kingston out a lot. So we'll see what happens this Tuesday night on SmackDown Live. Tomorrow night is Monday Night Raw. They have not announced anything yet, but I'm sure tomorrow during the day they'll be announcing stuff for Monday Night Raw. Well, we will be live tweeting Monday Night Raw tomorrow night with all of you fine folks. So hope you guys haven't. If you haven't already, follow us on Twitter at Get the Tables or on Twitch as well at Get the Tables as well. We'd really appreciate that. You can follow us on YouTube at Get the Tables Podcast. We're over there as well. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Really good show tonight. Really good interaction. Really good conversation. 2,400 views tonight. You guys are awesome. Again, I really wanted to say I apologize for all the technical issues again from last night. And appreciate every single one of you who kept coming into our shows even though we were having those technical issues. Y'all were very awesome with that. I know we would go like 30 minutes and then technical issue would happen. So you guys would come right back in and talk with us and interact. We do really appreciate that. Definitely shows he deserves to be in the main event. I agree with you, Bill. Absolutely. Kofi Kingston should be definitely pushed a little bit more as a singles wrestler than he has been in quite some time. So Dave will live again back on Tuesday. Should be a pretty good show right after SmackDown Live. Anything else you would like to say before we end tonight's show? We went over about an hour and almost 2 hours, but it's okay. We had a good show tonight. I don't really care. Any thoughts before we end tonight's show, Dave?
We're interested to see what they do tomorrow on Raw, which normally would be the time. Hopefully we'd build to WrestleMania, but only 3 weeks until we're here again talking Fastlane in 3 weeks. So it's like, geez. It's like point. No one even cares. It's obviously the rumor going around. Rumor and innuendo is that it's going to be Charlotte and Becky Lynch at Fastlane. That was being advertised in that area, I guess. That's for Sasha or Becky and Charlotte. So, and I'm really intrigued to see what they do with these tag titles this week. Whether we see something with them tomorrow night, which I think would be interesting. I think you'd want to get them displayed on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, yeah.
So that's one thing I'm interested about. You know, and maybe SmackDown the following week. I don't know, but maybe every other week they're on a different show. You know, make it a little bit more fun to check out. But yeah, I'm interested to see how they book these tag titles. Will we see them defended a lot? Will we see them defended not that much? I mean, I'm intrigued to see how this works out because now you have an extra title to have defended on TV. So it's interesting. And would it main event?
I don't think it will be main eventing yet. We'll see, though. Ric Flair's celebration is in 2 weeks, yeah. So the week after after this Monday Night Raw. So yeah, next week it'll be Raw Ric Flair celebration. So maybe we won't see Becky on Raw this week, but maybe see Becky at the Ric Flair celebration. We will see. So again, let's do a quick little shout out for everybody who was in here tonight. We got the Reverend in here, Kevin. Reverend's in here, Kevin's in here, Bill, Will Miller, Bob Aruski, Peck and Rod, Dan Kwan, Luis, Scorpion, Rick Vardell, Misfit is in here, Dos Equis, Elin Woods, Alan, Ted, and there's 12 more viewers I cannot see. So if I did not say hello in the chat. Just do a little wave or say hello, and so I can give you the proper shout out. Thank you again for Spees and Ella Chica for the awesome super hearts. Thank you for everybody over on the Twitch channel. Brian, Jody, Truth and Loyalty, Cambino. Who else was in there? Juanito again. Thank you guys for popping in over there on Twitch as well. Thank you to JT England, Blissside, the Architect, everybody, Texas Kid for Life, even him. He wasn't a troll tonight. Thank you everyone who came over here and talked with us. Had a great show tonight. Yep, I said hello to you, Misfit. Thank you for joining us. If you're new to the show, again, please hit that follow button. We're Get the Tables podcast. We're live every Tuesdays and Saturdays. Jump over onto the Periscope or Twitter or Twitch and hit that follow button. We'd really appreciate that. And one more last time before the end of tonight's show, we have t-shirts. Alice, there you go. Thank you for joining us, Alice. We have t-shirts. If you're interested, just hit us up on Twitter, and we'll give you all the details there. So, again, thank you for an awesome showing. Over 2,500 viewers tonight. Appreciate the everyone coming out here tonight. And we will see you guys on Tuesday. Have a great Monday. start of your work week or just your week in general. Thank you for the compliment there, Richie. Appreciate that. We want to see you have a great Monday and a great Tuesday because we want to see you Tuesday night. We'll end you with some boss. You guys, thank you again so much. You guys were awesome tonight. Again, thank you for all the interaction. Thank you for the hearts, retweets, shares, and super hearts and follows. You guys are awesome. See y'all guys on Tuesday.